And you are looking live into the iconic, historic, beautiful Delaware Park paddock, home of all the trees. We're 68 minutes out for race one, a big monster 10-race card this afternoon for you here at Delaware Park. The weather is spectacular. Temperature in the low 80s, sunny skies, winds from the northeast at 4 miles per hour. The main track is fast. The turf is perfect. The turf is firm. The rail setting today on the turf is at 8 feet. What a big day we have for you today. It's Delaware Certified Showcase Day for you today here at Delaware Park. We have 4 $100,000 features, a couple 2-year-old stakes, and then a couple $100,000 features for the older horses. 6 other undercard races with big purses, so big fields. I'm Stan Salter along with our announcer Josh Brown. But Josh, the big story about today is we have not just a couple, we have 5 carryovers, 5 non-jackpot traditional carryovers. The big carryover being in that pick 5 that starts race 5, the middle pick 5 starting race 5. That carryover is over 40,000, and the other 4 carryovers are pretty nice as well.
I believe this is the first time in racing history that a racetrack anywhere, Stan, has had 5 non-jackpot carryovers. Yesterday's races were insane with some payouts. And like Stan mentioned, we had that big $40,000 carryover that comes up in race 5, which is the middle pick 5 here today.
And we have the carryover board. If we have that, let's show that. We'll show you all the carryovers we have for today. The first carryover is going to start in race 3. That's a pick 5. That carryover is over 4,000, and then I'll have a ticket for that starting race 3. Then Josh, you'll have a ticket for that pick 4 carryover starting race 4. That's over 3,600, and then the big middle pick 5 starting race 5. I'll have a ticket for that. That carryover is over 40,000. We have a carryover in the late pick 5 starting race 6. I'll have a ticket for that. That carryover is almost 5,600, and then Josh, you'll have a ticket for the late pick 4 starting race 7. That has a carryover of over 7,700. So these pools will be well played today. We'll have some big handles in the multi-race wagers today. I'm looking forward to it. Yesterday, it was bombs away all day long. We had a couple horses that paid over $50. Chucky Lawrence with the long shot in that turf race, and then you had the Bruce Kravitz horse, Rue Carre, who was a big long shot winner. You had 11-1 shot in the boys' big feature yesterday with Tim Kreiser and Point Doom, and then the Motion filly was the favored in the George Rosenberger. But big long shot winners all day yesterday, and with big deep fields today, we could see the same today.
Yeah, it was interesting yesterday because the first race of the day had the second longest shot on the board at 8-1, and yet the last race stand yesterday, the third choice won, and it was 9-1. So like you said, we had over 90 horses run at the track. The first 4 races here today are a little light. The racing secretary and our racing department really put a lot of heavy races 5 through 10. And Stan, if you're ready, this is going to be an extensive study on today's races.
All right, let's get right to the racing action here. Race 1 kicks off the popular early pick 5. It's a maiden claiming 20,000 for 2-year-olds, going 6 furlongs on the main track. Here's the field here for race 1. It's a 8-horse field to kick off this early pick 5. The favored in the opener looks like the 2-horse Williston Warrior at 3-1. Let's take a look here at the first race. We're going 6 furlongs, maiden 2-year-olds, 20,000. I go with the 4 on top. Ravi, a first-time starter for Anthony Pecoraro. I like this new sire, First Mondays. The Bowmans own him down in Maryland. He's related to Cyberknife or Cyber Time, that good horse Asmussen have. You know what I'm talking about, right? With the Cyberknife or Cyber Time?
I'll say Cyber Time.
All right, the good horse Asmussen have. First Mondays is related to that family, and First Mondays has had some first out winners. Lundy Lute, who's in the feature later on today, was a nice First Mondays debut winner. Magical Mondays, who's in today. My price play of the day is by First Monday, so I like this sire First Monday, so I'll go with the 4 Ravi on top, a first-time starter with Paco Lopez aboard.
Yeah, Stan and I both agree on the 4, and here in this particular race, I'm going to also throw in the number 2, Williston Warrior, who has a shot in here. But the problem I have with this horse, Stan, is The 2-year-old gelding's been breaking sharp and then tends to get a little leg weary in the last couple of races. So that's my second pick, but I do agree with Stan with the 4 Ravi. And I also thought the 7 horse was interesting, Dancing Danae. Stan, the problem I have with this 2-year-old gelding is the horse has burned a lot of win money in the last 2 starts.
Yeah, beaten favored the last 2 there for Dancing Danae. So, all right, we like the same 4 horses there for the opener. We both have the 4 Ravi on top. Race 1 kicks off that popular early pick 4. The early pick 5. The early pick 5 yesterday on Saturday paid almost $3,900. So don't forget about the early pick 5 starting race 1. Let's take a look here at race 2 to kick off the early pick 4. It's the 19th running of the Newcastle Stakes, $100,000 feature for 3-year-olds and upward, going 6 furlongs on the main track. Scratch the 2, take a hint. My top pick here in race 2 is the 1 Chipotle. Chipotle is undefeated with Lasix. This is a nice 3-year-old by Matoli. He's very quick from the Mike Gorin barn. Raul Minna, his regular rider, will be aboard today. He has the 1 hole. We know what he's doing. He's going right to the front, and I think this is going to be an eventual stakes winner for Michael Gorham. This 3-year-old's razor sharp right now. There's some other speed in here, but he's helped out with Take a Hint being scratched. I go with the 1 Chipotle on top here in race 2.
I decided to take a long shot with number 4, How Great Is Nate. I think this is a race that sees way too much pace. If that happens and the 4, How Great Is Nate, races his best race to date, I think it could be a pace factor. But I agree with Stan. This 1 horse, other than that Chick Lane Stakes, this horse has rattled off 5 wins. And when that horse is that hot, you got to get on the bandwagon. Stan went with the 1. I went with the 4. And we also thought the 5 was interesting, I should say, Haley's First Notion.
Yeah, it fired to 88 Buyer speed figure with that big win here at Delaware last out. Haley's First Notion, a nice Great Notion 4-year-old for Gary Capuano, a perfect 2 for 2 here at Delaware Park. So a nice 5-horse field there in the 19th running of the Newcastle. Has some nice sprinters there in that race for sure. All right, let's get right to the carryovers. Let's show you the carryover. Well, let's show you the field here first for race 3. Race 3 is the Small Wonder for 2-year-old fillies going 6 furlongs. If we have the field here for race 3, we'll show that. It's the $100,000 Small Wonder for 2-year-old fillies going 6 furlongs. Scratch the 6 out of race 3. Let's show you the carryover board one more time as the carryovers start here in race 3. We have carryovers in races 3, 4, 5, and 6, and 7. There you see it. So the pick 5 carryover here in race 3, a little over 4,000. So carryovers in races 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. Let's take a look at my race 3 pick 5 ticket here for this carryover. I go with a $90 ticket. You need maybe some extra money to play these pick 5s this afternoon. Maybe grab some buddies, some friends together, pull some money together, and take a shot. Let's take a look here at my race 3 pick 5 ticket if we have it. I use my best bet of the day, the 5, Jumping the Gun, as my single. There we go, $90 ticket. I single on the 5, Jumping the Gun, undefeated gun runner filly for Andy Semoff. I don't think they can beat her here in the Small Wonder. In race 4, I go 3 deep there with the 3 favorites, the 2, 4, 6. The 6, Devil Pays in Gold, my top pick. We won't get 6 to 1 with the scratch of Malibu Beauty there in race 4. Devil Pays in Gold, probably going to be around 3 to 1. So 2, 4, 6 there in race 4. Race 6, that's a wide open turf route, 16,000 2 life. I go 6 deep in race 5. I used the 1, 3, 4, 7, 10, 12. Looking for a price there in race 5. I have the 1 RJ on top at 8 to 1. Race 6, that's the first state dash for 2-year-olds going 6 furlongs. I go 5 deep there with the 1, 4, 6, 7, 8. My top pick is the 6, Probably Dreaming, a very impressive debut winner for Gary Capuano last June down at Laurel. But there's several other nice 2-year-olds here in the first state dash. I go 5 deep. Race 7, a nice allowance race going long. The 2, Sam Stormy, was a big winner here at Delaware last out. I used the 2, but I also used the 6, Magical Mondays, my top pick there in race 7. I think that's a real nice 3-year-old by First Mondays for Tim Woolley. Julio Hernandez will ride. Got beat by Sam Stormy and Crab Cakes and Beer last time, but gets more ground to run at them in the stretch today, going a mile 70 yards. So 2-6 there in race 7. $90 ticket. Let's take a look here at race 3. We have a video spotlight here of Jumping the Gun, who's your 6-5 morning line favored in the Small Wonder. Here's Jumping the Gun, a well-bred filly by Gun Runner. Here's her big win in the Blue Hen. She put away one of the other favorites at the top of the stretch, and Josh, she looks pretty good here. She's just drawing away with ease. She gets a big 68 Beyer speed figure from this win in the Blue Hen.
You know, in that race at the top of the stretch, as soon as the jockey asked for a couple of responses with the pop of the crop, that one just elevated. I mean, those legs were fully stretched, and of course, as you saw on that replay, the jockey had her all wrapped up at the end. Imagine, Stan, if that horse was actually pressed on how much faster it could have gone. I mean, I'm so excited over your key horse. I spilt water all over my program, and therefore, I think Jumping the Gun is the easiest winner in here. However, Stan, I think there's lone speed in the race, and that's the 7, Sweet Shenanigans.
And gets a good outside post. Gabe Maldonado rides for Gary Capuano. Big winner at Delaware, last out in a maiden 45,000, 56 Beyer speed figure. So, all right, we both have a cold 5-7 exacta here in the Small Wonder. We both like the 1 and the 2 a little bit there in race 3. All right, so Jumping the Gun's going to be tough to beat there in race 3. Let's turn the page here. Race 4 kicks off a pick 4. Carryovers over 3,600 for the pick 4 starting in race 4. We're going 6 furlongs, nice first level. It's a nice allowance race, $100,000 allowance race for filly and mares. It's the 19th running of the tax-free shopping distaff. Josh, you have a ticket for the pick 4. Let's take a look, see how you play it.
So race 4 starts the 50-cent pick 4 carryover. There's my ticket on the TV monitors. I went between the 4 and the 6 in here in leg number 1. The 5th race is absolutely wide open. If you can afford to press the all button, just do it, because usually in horse racing, Stan, I'll go 7 deep, and it's the 8th one that leaves off the ticket. I went back to 4 and 6 for race number 6. And in race 7, I did key the 4 in my late pick 4, but I did go 4 deep, because if I am 3 for 3, I want the coverage. But race 7, if you're going to try to skinny your ticket, I really do like the 4 horse a lot. And that name is Crabs and Beer. We'll get to race 7 in a moment. But that ticket's affordable at $56 with that carryover today.
All right, so nice carryover in this pick 4 starting race 4. Let's take a look here at the tax-free shopping distaff. I go with the 6, Devil Pays in Gold. Big scratch of the 1, Malibu Beauty out of race 4. She was your one of your favorites at 3-1. So I go with the 6, Devil Pays in Gold, a nice 5-year-old mare by Uncle Lino. She's a 9-time winner, 3 wins right here at Delaware Park. She won big last out in a starter allowance late August with a big 74 Beyer speed figure. Julio Hernandez, with all that speed on the outside, should be able to get a real nice trouble-free trip here on the 6, Devil Pays in Gold.
Yeah, Stan, spot on here, because with that defection of number 1, Malibu Beauty, by default, that is the lone speed of the race. The 5-year-old mare only has a few others to face. I think if this horse gets beat today, it might be by the 4, Onyx 10. And the reason why I took this horse is the class of the race.
Yeah, absolutely. A multiple stakes winner earlier this year as a 3-year-old down there at Laurel. She's a nice filly by Street Magician for Gary Capuano. She gets first-time Lasix today, and she's getting 7 pounds off with the apprentice Yetsit Hazelwood, who does well with Gary Capuano. They're 41% together, so a nice addition here of the tax-free shopping distaff to kick off that pick 4 with a nice carryover. All right, let's turn the page here. Race 5 is a big field here. Race 5 is the big carryover of the day. It's the middle pick 5 that starts in race 5. The carryover is $40,113. Here's the field, a big 12-horse field, scratch to AEs. On the outside, we're going a mile 70 yards on a firm turf course with the rail at 8 feet, claiming $16,000 for 3-year-olds and upward, and everyone too are the conditions. And here's my pick 5 ticket that starts race 5 with that big $40,000 carryover. It's a little pricey. Got to grab a couple friends and take a big swing at these pick 5s today. $120 ticket. You get 3 buddies, and that's $40 a person, Josh, and it might pay $10,000.
Yeah, on a day like today, Stan, when you have 5 carryovers over 5 consecutive races, this is the day you have to bet. And like Stan said, his ticket's a little up there, but you know what? I'd rather have all the coverage in the world and have a good payday when everything is said and done.
Absolutely. Race 5, I go with the 1, 3, 4, 7, 10, 12. My top pick in the 5th race is the 1, RJ. I'm 5 deep in the first state dash with the 1, 4, 6, 7, 8. Race 7, I go with the 2 and the 6. Race 8, I go 4 deep with the 2, 4, 6, 9. Then my single on this middle pick 5 ticket comes in race 9. The 4, East Boston Benny, is razor sharp right now for Steve Glaceris. Jamie Rodriguez will ride. That horse looks awfully tough at 3-1 there in race 9. So let's take a look here at the first leg of this big middle pick 5 carryover. Big 12 horse field here in race 5, and this has been a speed favoring firm turf course. The 1, RJ, is going right to the front just like he did last time for Kerry Raven, who's sitting at 26%. Carol Sedania will ride. This gelding is going to be in front. Can he go all the way today?
Stan mentioned that the turf course has been very firm. We have not had rain here in the Mid-Atlantic for some time, so it does play to the speed. Originally, Stan, I had this horse on top. My only concern was that was speed versus Maiden Company. I do have this horse on my pick 4. I do have this horse in my top 4. But I noticed, Stan, I got to go with the 2 if I were you. There's a big jockey change in that, too, because number 2, if I were you, now gets the services of Jorge Sanchez. And number 3, Calendon, now gets the services of Carlos Lopez. So a couple of big jockey changes there. But Stan, I thought the number 2 horse, let's say there's a meltdown on pace, I thought the 2 could be rolling home late for trainer Kelly Rubley.
All right, I didn't use the 2, but that horse is a nice 8-1 price. Bruce Kravitz had a big long shot winner yesterday. He said he likes this horse a little bit. Caledon, the 3, trying a turf for the first time. I don't have him in my top 4, but I used the 3 on my pick 5 tickets. The 4, Great Composer, in a big race last time. We like a bunch of different horses here in race 5. We both like the 7, Major Offensive. We both like the 10. All right, so big 12 horse field. I think you need to demand some value and do some price shopping here in race 5.
Yeah, this is one of those races where it's so great as a gambler because it's on turf. It's a 12 horse field. We had some 10-cent superfectas pay 4 figures yesterday. This is one of those races where if your opinion is right, Stan, you will be handsomely rewarded.
Absolutely. All right, let's get a quick commercial break. We've gone through 5 races, still 5 more to go. A few more carryovers also. We'll be right back. Okay, welcome back. Here we go. Race 6 will kick off the late pick 5 carryovers over 5,500 for the late pick 5 starting race 6. It's the first state dash, a $100,000 feature for 2-year-olds going 6 furlongs. Nice 8-horse field here in race 6. Let's take a look at my late pick 5 ticket starting race 6 with a nice carryover. Another $120 ticket. I go 5 deep here in race 6 with the 1, 4, 6, 7, 8. Race 7, I love the 2 and the 6 there. Race 8, I have some prices there in race 8 with the 2, 4, 6, 9. My single comes in race 9. Nice allowance race. I single on the 4, East Boston Benny. And then I'm 6 deep there in a wide open 7,500 2 life race 10. I go with the 2, 4, 5, 8, 9, 10. Looking for a price there in race 10 to wrap things up. I have the 10 on top, I believe, there in race 10. The 10's a nice price. Sharp, recent Sharp maiden winner for Carrie Bryan. Carol Sedania will ride. The 10, hold on, 6 to 1 there in race 10. So there's my ticket for the late pick 5, $120 play. Let's take a look here. We have a video spotlight of Lundy Loot, who's number 8 here in the First State Dash. Lundy Loot, a 2-year-old by First Mondays. Here's the debut assignment here for Lundy Loot back in mid-July and was in front turning for home, and he goes on and wins by 7. A real good-looking win by this Lynn Ashby trained 2-year-old.
Yeah, Lundy Loot really poured it on and won by 7 open lengths, and in a field of 6 was 6-5 that day, Stan. But that was back on July 16th. It's interesting, too, because the video spotlight we just showed, this horse was a gate scratch on August 14th.
Yeah, I remember he got a little tangled up in the gate, but hopefully, well, obviously he's okay after that. And I'm sure Lynn Ashby's gone back and schooled the horse at the gate and got him more calm at the gate. He gets a good outside post today, so he'll probably be last loaded in the gate. Won't have to stand in there too long. He has a lot of early speed, so Jose Batista should be able to work out a good trip. But this is a tough race. I picked the 8 third in here. There's a couple others I like on top. The 6 Probably Dreaming from the Gary Capuano barn. I put this horse on top. What an eventful debut this 2-year-old by Improbable had back in mid-June at Laurel in a maiden special weight. Stumbled badly at the start and was last in a 7-horse field, breaking from the 1 hole and overcame that. Came with a bold 5-wide move and won going away by 3.5. Only a 46 buyer speed figure, but I'm sure he's a lot better since that. Carlos Lopez will ride once again for Gary Capuano, the Gary Cap barn with 2-year-olds. They hit out a solid a whopping 34%.
Yeah, and Gary's not doing too bad either with that 60 to 180 day layoff window at 36%. With that being said, Stan went with the 6. I love that horse all day long. That's why I used both of them in my pick 4. The other one is the 4 Majestic Blue. Stan, I think on paper, Lynn Ashby might have the winner because Majestic Blue really is the class of the race.
Absolutely. A nice 2-year-old by Blofeld, a nice impressive debut winner, and just got beat there in the Dover Stakes last out, so has the experience and the education. So we both like the 4-6, 6-4 on top. I like the 8. Used the 2 Foul Mouth, who was a nice impressive debut winner for Pecoraro by Blofeld. Paco Lopez will ride.
Yeah, that horse exits a key race, so Feels So Right, who finished 3rd that race, came back to win his next start. But Stan, unfortunately, on paper, I think the 2 and 8 might hook each other, and that's why I think it runs 6-4 or 4-6 all day long.
All right, so nice addition there of the First State Dash to kick off the late pick 5. Let's take a look here at race 7. Another carryover for you here in race 7. It's a nice allowance race going long on the turf for Delaware certified 3-year-olds and upward. Here's the field for race 7. Scratch the 3, 5, and the 9, so still a nice 6-horse field here in race 7. We have a carryover in the late pick 4 over 7,700. Josh, you have a ticket for the late pick 4. Let's check it out and see how you play it.
So if you remember my early pick 4, I ended it in race 7 with 4, 6, 7, and 8. The reason why I didn't put 4, 6, 7, 8 in this particular sequence is because then that would be $42 times 4. If you want to spend $168, I can't blame you because the carryover's at $7,700. With that being said, I think the 4-horse is the one to beat. I thought race 8, from a handicapping point of view, to pick the outright winner is nearly impossible. When I think like that, I'm going all. Race 9, I'm taking a couple of stabs with the 9 and the 10. If I'm lucky to get through the 3rd leg, I have to go 6 deep in the 10th race, and this ticket is $42.
If that ticket hits, it'll pay well because you don't have the favorite there in race 9, so you have a couple nice prices there with the 9 and the 10. That's a nice allowance race there in race 9. But let's take a look here at race 7. A nice allowance race, $73,000 purse. We're going a mile, 70 yards on the firm turf course here in race 7. I go with the 6 Magical Mondays on top. I think this is a real nice 3-year-old by First Mondays, a homebred for Harry Cassip and trainer Tim Woolley. Julio Hernandez will ride. Beaten favored against Allowance Company last out. Got beat by Sam Stormy, who was a big price, and Crabs and Beer, but That was going 7.5 furlongs. We get 1.70 miles today, so this horse is going to have more real estate to run at. I think that's going to be the difference. So I think the 6 Magical Mondays with that big late rally he has is going to have enough time to get up there in race 7 today.
The only blemish on the record for number 6 Magical Mondays was that dirt race where the horse stumbled badly at the break. Excellent turf form. 3-year-old geldings making start number 6 is on the improve. I got this horse second. The one I'm afraid of is the 4 Crabs and Beer, because a couple of things, the class and Paco Lopez.
Yeah, Paco rides for Chucky Lawrence, and the Chucky Lawrence barn's been on a roll the past couple of weeks with a bunch of nice price winners, and Crabs and Beer, certainly a nice horse by Blofelds. We both like the 4 and the 6. I used the 2. Sam Stormy blew up the tote board yet last time at 21-1 for Giovanni Salinas. Carol Cedeno should be able to get a nice ground-saving stalking trip here, I think, on the 2 Sam Stormy.
Yeah, this horse ran a massive figure last time up and got up in the nick of time to win by a neck and just held on. Crabs and Beer was closing, Magical Mondays was closing. So if you're afraid of that regression angle, I think the 8 horse Dominguez might be one you want to use, because I think this horse is lone speed, but it was also against weaker competition. But I think it's between Stan's 6 horse in here, Magical Mondays, and the 4 Crabs and Beer.
All right, let's turn the page here. Race 8 will kick off the final pick 3 of the day. We're going a flat mile, claiming 10,000 for 3 and up. Haven't won a race since March 14th. Are the conditions? Scratch the 5 and the 7, who were 2 of the favorites here in race 8. So we're down to a 7-horse field, and I take a shot with the 6 Striking Sparks. I don't think we'll get 10-1, especially with the scratches of the 2 favorites. Striking Sparks just got beat at this level last time when he was in the Jamie Ness barn. He went to the front and then just got beat in the final strides by Style Me Royal. Style Me Royal would come back to win a nice first level allowance race with a 78 Beyer speed figure. So Striking Sparks, coming out of a strong race, was claimed from the Ness barn by trainer Jose Rodriguez, who has 3 nice wins at the meet. Angel Castillo will ride. We won't get 10-1 after the 2 scratches, but maybe we still get a nice price on the 6 Striking Sparks here in race 8.
Well, even with the scratches of the 5 and 7, Stan, you weren't going to get 10-1 on this horse. The horse has been 5-1 or less in the last 8 starts. The horse has been so consistent and a ton of back class. I got this horse second in here. Believe it or not, I did not hit my head this morning because I'm going with the 1 Lord of War. I think there is so much speed in this race. I'm facing the last race only, Stan. If this horse can close in, the horse barely lost to H.C. Holiday by a nose. Everything has to work perfect, but again, that is why I spread in that race. I went 1-6-4-9. I'm still cracking myself up because this is a huge long shot. I just need a lot of pace in this race.
Patrick Ashton, of course, well known for the 99-1 Ruby Dooby Hooby or something my first year here. So Patrick Ashton, he can win with a price. So you're looking for a price there in race 8. Let's take a look at race 9 to kick off the late daily double. Nice first level allowance condition, $72,000 purse. We're going 6 furlongs, scratch to 3. My top pick here in race 9 is the 4 East Boston Benny. Real sharp winner here at Delaware, coming off the layoff back in May. Then a big second down at Colonial, and just most recently ran lights out, a lifetime best effort down at Colonial last out when he won wire to wire against Allowance Company with an 87 Beyer speed figure. That's the highest last out Beyer speed figure of the field. To get Jamie Rodriguez, there's some other speed in here, but they're all going to have to try to keep up with East Boston Benny.
Yeah, East Boston Benny's going to come out of the gate like a scolded cat, and I'll tell you what, the last couple of races was $90,000 allowance races in here. This is another race that I see speed in here, and the horse you have picked second could be the winner if there's an epic pace meltdown, and I thought the 10 Boat Song can easily sit off the pace with jockey Kevin Gomez in the saddle.
Yeah, this might get the perfect trip because there is a ton of speed in here. I am worried about that with my top pick. Kevin Gomez might get a real nice setup here with this 6-year-old who's been running well his last couple races this summer here at Delaware Park. All right, so we like a few of the same horses there in race 9. Race 10's a doozy to wrap up the big Sunday afternoon Race 10, let's see, it's a 10-horse field, -1, scratch the 1. So a big 9-horse field here in race 10, going 6 furlongs, claiming 7,500 for filly mares. Never won 2. I think you need to demand some value here in race 10. So I go with the 10, Hold On, a recent sharp maiden winner here at Delaware with a 52 buyer speed figure. That number works against this group. Carol Sedania rides for Carrie Bryan, 3-year-old daughter of Flatters, in good form right now. Her first test against winners today, and you hope she's a closing sprinter. You hope Carol doesn't get caught way wide on that far turn. If she can maybe save some ground and get this horse rolling around the far turn, I think the 10, Hold On, could be tough here in race 10.
Yeah, Carol was on a roll a couple of weeks ago when, what was it, a 4-win day or something like that, and this horse does get some pace to chase in here. Stan likes the 10. I like the 9 horse in here, Fontabelle. The problem I have with this horse, Stan, the horse was a $53,000 maiden special weight horse, 7 lines down in your program. Today it's $7,500. But you know what? The connections of Jamie Ness and Martin Twan, they're winning at nearly 35+%. I'm taking this horse, and I hope I get a 6-1 morning line.
Yeah, beaten favor last down at Colonial, probably against better company. I was going a mile. He went to the front and got tired. Now he's cutting back to 3/4 today. I like the route to sprint angle. The Nest Barn, 16% route to sprint. So I don't have the 9 in my top 4 there, but I do have the 9 on my late pick 5 ticket that wraps up with race 10. I didn't use the 8 Padrino's Gold I use on the late pick 5. I don't have in my picks here. Beaten favored, last out, going a mile, cuts back in distance, gets Paco and blinkers on, so that could all work there for the 8 Padrino's Gold.
And you know, I really think Stan might be on with something with number 5, Indy's Universe. I see this horse has flashed a lot of speed and now cuts back, and Stan, Kerry Raven's on a roll here at Delaware Park.
Absolutely. The barn's hitting at 26%. Route to sprint on the 5 Indy's Universe could be tough in the final strides at a decent price. So that's it. Big 10 race card. The first race post time is at 12:45. We have 5 carryovers for you. The first carryover starts with that pick 5 in race 3. The big carryover of the day, of course, is that middle pick 5 that starts race 5. That carryover is over $40,000. We have tickets for all the pick 5s and pick 4s. Josh, great job. Thanks for doing the show with me. And long day yesterday. We'll be at it again today, having more fun. Good luck with everything.
Thank you so much. And of course, we will be back with the changes in about 6 minutes time. And then Stan will be on with his prognosis at about 15 minutes to post.
All right. Best of luck. Good luck today, everybody.